I am of the earth, I am of the stars, and I ground myself to the earth. I honor you, Mother of Earth, in whose womb I am nurtured, I am provided for, and I'm protected. Thank you. Thank you, Mother. I honor my guards and guardians, with whom along this journey that feels less lonely, that feels more at ease and with peace. I honor each and every one of you. Thank you for all that you mean to me and we. I honor you, the four winds, the guardians of the easterly winds, the guardians of the northerly winds, the guardians of the southerly winds, and the guardians of the westerly winds. Thank you all so much for what you do to support me and my brethren, mankind. I honor you, elemental elders of water and fire. You support and you provide for us so much in every which way that we need and want, and more. Thank you, elemental elders of water and fire. I honor you, the mineral beings of life. It is by the grace, the might of you and your generosity that we are able to have many abundance, including the materials and matter that makes our incense, and the matter that powers our technological devices and more. Thank you, the mineral beings of life, for providing for us in your unique way, for providing for me and my human brethren in your unique way. I honor each and every one of you. I honor the life, the love, and the expansiveness of you as is connected to Source, Creatress Almighty. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. I honor you. Ikalanum. I humbly call to thee, my guards and guardians, to please join me in this moment of a ceremonial testimony, if you will. Yeah. Please sit with me as I experience this ceremonial testimony of the Celtic women, the Celtic way of life that has impacted me in reverberating ways that transcends all space-time reality. I honor the guards and guardians of this blessed land that I dwell on. Thank you, all of you, for supporting the space that I'm able to rest my head and just be. Thank you. Greetings all, greetings to you, my fellow brethren. As you heard me say, this sitting is more so a ceremony as well as a testimony regarding the Celts Celtic women, specifically the Celtic way of life, and how I revere that and how impactful it's been to the journey that I am experiencing, witnessing in this time. So, of course, like everything else, sometimes we start by wanting to go far back. So, I won't go too far back. But what I will say is my first encounter with a Celtic woman was my art teacher, Miss Moira, I believe that was her first name. And the very the part that stands out about her, I mean, her accent to me was just, of course, beautiful. You can imagine me coming from West Africa and then hearing someone with such an accent. I do this thing then and now where I keep staring at people and I love staring at people to the point where I have to stop doing that. But I would stare at her as she speak, and I think that made her uncomfortable. But I bring this up to say her accent was just very beautiful, and I do think that of most and all Celtic people with their ancestral accent. So Miss Moira, my art teacher, when I was 17 years old, this encounter stand out to me because we had this one assignment and we were told to paint certain colors. It was green, no, yellow, red, and black, and blue, I believe. And I chose the image Betty Boop, but it wasn't just any type of Betty Boop, very scantily dressed, and I brought it to class for her to print it on the big pad that we were supposed to do the art. Now, as a 17-year-old, of course, all the adults around me was just kind of being judgmental. And I would say what I remember of Miss Moira was she's a very conservative lady, soft-spoken, very quiet. From what I could tell from her paintings, very talented. When I was showing that to my friends, they were like, "You're gonna show this to a teacher? Choose something else." Because again, the character Betty Boop that I chose to paint, she was just very scantily dressed, very short dress, and on her leg was like a little thing there with a heart on it. So I brought that to class, of course. So kind of expecting some type of judgment, some type of pardon this. Yeah, some type of pushback to say, "Oh well, no, this is inappropriate." It was none of that at all. She was just like, "Oh, this is what you want to paint?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she helped me. It's one of my favorite paintings in my home, and it's just one of my favorite. I remember Miss Moira because, of course, from a 17-year-old perspective, that type of support from another woman is very important. And she so happens to be Celtic. I'm not sure whether she's Irish or Scottish. I don't know, but I just remember her as a Celtic woman. Fast forward from that encounter, my journey further continued to unfold as it applies to the touch of the Celt. When I moved to America, I was missing Liberia so much that I felt this hole inside of my heart, kind of is how I would describe it, and I just started to feel empty. And this one particular night, started to become so unbearable that the house we were staying at, I went to the basement and I laid on the floor. I wasn't hungry. It was none of that, but I just felt something starting to like just pull at me, and I believe I would call that sadness. It was sadness. I was sad in this foreign land. I miss home, I miss friends, I miss familiarity. So, in dealing with that sadness, I went to the basement, laid on the carpeted floor, and I just wanted to drown out the sadness. So, I started to flip through the TV channels, and I landed on the PBS special in 2005 that was featuring the Celtic Woman tour. It was a particular song or a voice that pulled me. And I'm going to sing now one of my special favorites from their album during that time, which was and the album, I didn't know this at the time, the album that they were touring was called A New Journey. I found this out 10 years later, by the way, while I was on my spiritual journey, that what got me was the album A New Journey. One of the favorite songs I love is May it be an evening star. For some reason, part of me is blanking right now. All I can say is this one line, as the song went on, this one line stuck through. And it goes like this. A promise lives within you now. A promise lives within you now. And as I put the remote on that particular PBS channel, this other song really just, it's as if the voice went and held me with the lyrics, with the singer's voice, and the song goes like this. And I hear your voice on the wind, and I hear you call out to me. Listen, my child, you said to me, I am the voice of your history. Be not afraid, come follow me. Answer my call and I'll set you free. I laid there and I listened to several of the songs back in 2005 on the New Journey, A New Journey album. The water flowed. The water flowed. And I cried. My chest, that's just it. My chest was doing something that I have never felt it do before as I was listening to this song. My heart was doing something that I've never felt before, and all I can attribute that to possibly was sadness. Being where I am now and the insight that guards and guardians have shared with me, I was going through what my brethren call an awakening. All I knew then and now was that the song, the words said, the vibration of the singer's voice, it spoke to me, it helped me. And from that moment, and in that moment, I knew I was going to be okay. I knew I was going to be okay. So I went on to, of course, research about Celtic women, and I love their voice and the vibration. I'm saying vibration now because, of course, this is years in the making of learning, experiencing, and traveling in this realm and others. The vibration of their voice and the words that they speak in those songs was what I became attracted to. Until this day, they are one of my favorite bands. So I went on, of course, to live my life, traveled through college, went on and, did living basically. And why I'm honoring Celtic way of life, it has come to my awareness that I walked the terrain of the Celts in another lifetime. I could not explain it. The moment I read of Scotland, I fell in love with the place. And for the same reason I could not explain it for the life of me, I just am, there is a pull there, is what I'll say. So, the way of life of the Celts, there is honoring there. And I choose to recognize that and acknowledge it. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of you that in your reincarnation in this lifetime, you carry honor in your hearts. You carry respect in your hearts for the ancients, for your elders. And that honor and that respect is felt in a way that vibrates through all space-time reality. Yes, I can say those words now as it applies to space-time reality based on experiences had. So in walking you now as Celts, I didn't incarnate in this lifetime as a Celtic person. But what I'm saying is your reverence, your respect, admiration, honoring of your ancestors, it's so powerful, it's so true, it's so fine, it's so beautiful, to the point that it helped me remember my path. It helped me remember my path, and not only that, I believe tremendous healing there happened. Tremendous. And I'm so grateful to you, the reincarnates of this lifetime, of Celtic origin, you who choose to honor that, you who choose to respect it. Thank you so much for doing just that. You're doing so in your own unique ways, carrying pride of your ancestors, your elders with you. That it shows. It helps healing in dimensions here, there, and more. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're a beautiful group of people. In spite of it all, I'll just say that. In spite of what time as we know it, in spite of what time has tried to do, there is vigor there. In spite of what may have happened then, what certain groups of people did, respect resonates. Respect resonates. Acknowledgement of what is, what was done, of course, that's there. But what I feel in the company, whether travel to Scotland or encountering someone who carries that reverence, I'm telling you, it's something that I can feel. And of course, I'm saying this now as I sit in the awareness that abilities about me is able to feel into that. When the reverence and respect is there for the ancient ones, for your ancestors, it is not a boastful thing. It is not an ego thing. It's not what I have experienced. It's just a quiet surety, if you will, a quiet sureness, a quiet confirmation. Not once have I felt uncomfortable in the company of any Celts or a Celtic person. And no, there isn't any small talk that has been or needs to be had. I'm just saying, just in the company of said individual, through whatever mundane activity that we as society engage in, I have not felt uncomfortable. So I'm grateful to the energy, the ancestral energy that resonates in that way of Celtic people. And I'm also very grateful to the symbols and the magic or ashe that is quite strong there in your symbols. It is just very ancient. It is ancient. It feels natural. It feels beautiful. Yeah. Oh, this memory comes now to mind. So yes, as I'm saying this now, putting this into words, of course, experiences that has been had makes me sure that I walked and reincarnated in other lifetimes as a Celt, as a Celtic woman, or as a Celtic person. The memory just came. I believe I was living in Baltimore at the time, and I probably was at a bar somewhere or doing something with friends and, stuff. And the first time I heard the bagpipe play, I kid you not, my head snapped up. It's as if someone called your name. It's as if someone called your name, but they did so with a bagpipe. And yes, now all of what I've explained, I'm able to piece that together over the course of 20 years that I've been here in America. Well, maybe not 20, but over the course of that, moments. The first time I heard the bagpipe, yes, I heard the voice of Celtic women. I was like, oh, they're beautiful. I like them. And at the time, they weren't even my favorite band. That was years later. I'm like, they're my favorite band. So in Baltimore, they're doing stuff, and I heard the bagpipe. I stood still. My friends were speaking, whatever they were saying, they seemed to not exist. And now the sound of the bagpipe, the effect for me is a standstill. It's a standstill. That there is something about the sound of the bagpipe. This is the This is the sensation that I feel when the bagpipes plays. It is this pull. Captivating is one word that comes to mind. And another thing that I feel when I hear the bagpipes play, there is a language, a telling happening in that sound. It feels ancestral, it's what I'll say, and I'll leave it there. So, of course, all that took many, many years just going on, living, doing what a young person does, just living. But I was noticing these things, and I'm like, the sound of that. It makes me just forget anything and everything around me and just pay attention to it. And yes, of course, life just happened. So I honor you, the living energy, the vitality of the Celtic ways in the various regions of the world that the Celts, the ancestor of the Celts, dwell, in the many different names, tribes, and communities that energy have adapted to. I honor you, the Asians, you who live within the culture of the Celtic ways. And I also honor you, the reincarnates of Celtic people, of Celtic ancestors. Thank you for your love, your respect, and your reverence, and walking with and honoring that which is true, the Asians. This completes my ceremony and also part bits of stories and examples. On this platform, the intent is healthy accord. The intent is heal thyself with the accord of the natural world. Nature has her rules and regulations. Accord, if you will, in other sense. Some of us are starting to learn what those accords are and adjusting to them and integrating them into the day-to-day activities. Many of these ceremonies may continue, and I do not know, I do not have a set path for this platform. As it flows, that is how I'll go. Have a great day. Bye-bye.